Very warm welcome to one and all on our session this morning. As you may be aware, we're having these sessions on the same YouTube chat, um, YouTube channel, and Zoom link every day, thrice a day now. And it's been going on for some time, actually. All these sessions are basically to give you a basic information about Sahaja, what it is. And many people have questions about how's it different, what do I do in it, and what the benefits, etc. And then we also go for meditation session towards the end. And then if you have any questions, you can join the Zoom link given in the YouTube chat and speak with us. Or you can, towards the end, write your questions or suggestions or comments or anything you want to share in the YouTube chat. We're having these sessions, all of them in Hindi daily. Only on Saturday morning, we have one session in Marathi, and Sunday morning, we have one session in English for seekers who requested to understand in other languages. Rest all are in Hindi, and the sessions are one in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15 p.m., and one in the evening at 7:45 p.m. These are the three session timings. And apart from this, there is one daily session which is at 5:30 p.m. And this session is essentially for those people who have now understood the basics and want to go deeper into meditation, uh, which they can by joining this session at 5:30 p.m. So these are all just basic information, and we wanted to start. So today's session is a little bit different than the others, and that's because we use some presentation and slides. And the focus is more about the young folks today. And we know that how the youngsters today are really so stressed out. It's um, it's not a very happy situation that they're living in. It's very important that they understand more about meditation, spirituality, and why they should take to it, etc. Which is why we've kept today's session a little bit geared towards them. But whatever we talk about, it remains true for all of us, really. So let's begin. We'll have some slides. We'll just go through them to understand what we're talking about here. So the proposition here is what? That one can de-stress themselves, bring themselves into balance, and get a total well-being through Sahaja. When we say total well-being, it doesn't mean just mentally or physically or emotionally or spiritually. It really is all aspects of your life, and there's a complete um, well-being that happens, and there's a complete transformation that happens really that brings about this well-being into you. It cannot be that you just treat the leaves of a tree from the outside and you say that the whole tree will be all right. You really have to go inside and do something there to make it happen, which is what happens in Sahaj Yoga. And there's a complete inner transformation that comes about, which brings all these things inside us. So very easy to accept that students today, or young folks, or job seekers, and people in their teens and 20s, etc., and even 30s, let's say, there's so much competition all around. And it's a very, very aggressive environment. It's wherever they are, in whichever field, and whatever they're doing, studying and jobs, etc., it's very difficult to uh, do what they're doing normally because everybody around them is so aggressive, and the environment is such all the time. You have to beat others and prove yourself and just be at the helm of things, and you have to earn this much and be this and be that and positions and whatnot. So it's actually a very crazy environment that we are living in, and it's causing a lot of problems, and we'll come to that. So minds are full of worry. Um, let's say, we have to get into some good colleges, then our career, and what will people say, and friends of families, and their friends and families, and um, I have to succeed in life because that's how I'll be perceived and judged. What my pay scale is, etc. And competition all around. My friends, what they are doing, etc. Then the job, and actually people are working very hard. Even in coaching institutes, if you see that they're spending the whole days there. I was really surprised to learn. But even weekends and Sundays, students don't know for engineering entrance exam preparation. They are all the time in the coachings. And then when they do get into colleges, it's another mayhem. And of course, in jobs, people are having a lot of discussions about long work hours, etc. But to be honest, this is already crazy. The amount of work and pressure that most people are taking, and people are doing this to earn more and prove themselves and whatnot. It's already a real, I mean, burden on our even physical self, mental self, emotional self. There's no balance in our life. Of course, growing up, we also think of many other things of how do I look, how is my personality, what do people think of me, what does the opposite sex think of me, and we work towards that also. A lot of things on that side, and it's a complete hodgepodge and a mess in our heads. Really, it's that age and just coming out into the real world that we see all of this all around, and it does give a lot of stress. There's a lot of expectation from the young people all around, and it becomes very burdensome for them, truly. So, a lot of stress leads to what in young folks? Let's say when you're thinking all the time, you're stressed out, you're not attentive, you're not present. When you're not present, you don't even remember things properly. You may lack in self confidence also. But people who are not present or who are all the time thinking and under stress also becomes restless, impatient, and irritable, and they stop enjoying lives. And when the older folks try to talk to them, they just can't connect. And the older folks feel that these guys are not here. How do we talk to them? It's very difficult because living in a very different world, really. That's how it's become. And we don't understand their problems and they don't know how to explain it to us. And they're all the time stressed out and really not present there, as we said. Again, effect of stress is something that everybody has talked about now in great details. You pick up any profession and any form of uh, medical science, any practitioner of any different kind in medical field, they will all talk of stress. It has an effect on everything that we do. Because why so? We are just not this physical body. We are this emotional body as well, mental body as well, spiritual body as well. If something goes off in one or the other aspect of our life, it does affect the rest of it because it's a complete whole thing. That's how if you are very emotionally stressed out, let's say, it will have its effects. If you are mentally stressed out, it will have its effects. So the the explanations and discussions of stress is something, let's say, the past decade has really picked up, and people are talking left, right, and center about it. When Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi started Sahaja, uh, she put up these points. In 1970, she started, and since then, she's really specifically told that people of this nature develop this kind of disease. That is because we work too much on that aspect, on those chakras, on those nadis, and we develop diseases because of that, or we develop a personality that is according to that, etc. So, what does stress do? It leads to a lot of anxiety, for sure, and people are in tension and they lose sleep. Something that everybody will accept that has become a very common thing. I know of so many people who used to take pills for sleeping. And coming to Sahaj Yoga, it's been a miraculous thing for them, and they've all given up those pills and sleeping nicely now. It's a very common thing. It's become because of stress and overthinking. Such people become aggressive, can develop OCDs, and etc. Uh, One very bad thing because of stress, what happens is that we live in this world and we are all the time thinking and stressed out, and maybe we are planning or maybe thinking of the past. And we just want to run away from it. That's how people have also become, party people, because they just want to run away from all the madness that they did the whole week and just want to forget and drink and smoke and maybe take even drugs. And very, very young teenagers are going into these things now. And it's it's not a joke. It's become a real true concern for all parents, for all of us who are we think that we are leaving behind a better world for the young folks. But in fact, what we have done is made it even worse for many of them. This is something that really, really needs to be solved for. And it's because of the environment that has been created all around. The expectations that have been created, the competition, the aggressive environment, all of that. Of course, the young may not be worried about medical issues, but what happens is that we sort of get into a motion, and that motion just doesn't stop growing up. We get into the habit of overworking and overthinking and over planning, and we think that it's just we just have to crack the 12th uh, board properly and then we'll be through, or we just have to crack this entrance exam and then life is set, and then just this job and then I'm okay, I'll just relax and have enough money to enjoy my life. But it never ends, because when you get into that job you have to prove yourself, and then there's competition against others, and you have to get a promotion, and then your requirements go up, your expectations go up, and you're earning something, and then somebody comes and tells, oh, they are earning this much, you're earning only this much. Then you again go into that crazy frenzy of mad race of earning, trying to earn more, etc. It just goes on and on and on. What it leads to is many of these diseases, they start making their homes inside us early on. And many of them are mentioned here, like diabetes, hypertension, and many things like that, migraine, etc. It's so common, but there are very much more serious diseases also that can come because of this. And there's a lot of explanation in that in Sahaj Yoga. But just it's an easy thing to accept that many of these diseases do start because of this. And it's something that we need to look at early on in our lives and not wait for them to come, and then maybe we'll start exercising and meditation and so many things that people start looking at. But by then, a lot of the damage has already been done. So it's good to stay away from all of this early on. One more very concerning trend today is depression. Very young people, a lot of them are talking of depression, and even school going kids, I mean, that young. And it's again become a very commonplace, and people are accepting that, yes, the young people are going into depression. It's all the environment again, it's everything all around us that is causing it. And it's very, again, it's something of great concern. And I think that people really should take to Sahaj Yoga meditation to get rid of these things. We hear of college going students and people preparing for competitive exams committing suicides, etc. It's really unimaginable, and it's really sorrowful. But the only solution that I see is taking to Sahaj Yoga. This can really solve so many of our problems and get rid of all of this madness all around us. So we are told that stop stressing and start living your lives. Many people come and guide us and try to mentor us and tell us that it's not important. Just be happy with what you have and move ahead, and it's okay, to have this much, and don't worry too much about it. And life gyan about life and all of that. But it doesn't work. As soon as you step out, you talk to some people, you go to offices, you go to, I don't know, colleges, friends, etc. Again, you start seeing what others are having, doing, and you start thinking, how will I have it? How will I reach there? And I must get this. It's a competitive thing all the time. One has to prove that they are better than the others. And that is truly how it is. So, what we call it in the ancient times is the Maya. It's that Maya all around. We must, it's very difficult to just get out of it and say that, oh, I'm above all of this. You're not. And nobody can, because that's how it's been built. So, then how do I get out of this stress? So, what people try is exercising, for example. It does give you a mood of, you just forget for a while, you're concentrated on something physical and, you know, you just have to do it. This is your goal. So for a while, you stop, maybe you stop thinking. And that's how exercising sometimes helps. But in fact, for people who are already very aggressive in their lives and already too much of planners and too much of forward thinking, futuristic folks, and very ambitious and aggressive people, such people are already working on one channel, that is the right channel, Pingla Nadi. And the physical work, mental work, all of it is done by that channel. If we start exercising a lot as well, with a very strict regime and very strict with ourselves, such people may get heart attacks because the other side, which is on the left, balances it out. And that's how we have seen that many successful CEOs and founders of startups, when we recently we've heard, they're leading very good life, very healthy, perfect diets and all of that, and still they get into heart attacks. It's really surprising how that happens, but it has its side effects. Art forms, especially the Indian classical art forms, can give a real balance to us at times. And it has that effect because it works on our left channel. So it does give out some balance to the madness, the mad race that's going on. But that's also temporary. So it is said that the permanent solution is meditation. It can give you that state where you can rise above all of this. And you can come into a situation where you are uh, not affected by this worldly mire all around. And that is how people turn to spirituality. That is how so many people are looking out for God, for spirituality, to get some relief and just get some peace, shanti. That is all people talk of, really. We are in search of peace. So that comes because of meditation. So, what is meditation? And that is the billion-dollar question, really. Uh, the reason is that so many forms of meditation have come today. So many people are talking of meditation and different methods of meditation. For example, some people take mantras, they chant mantras constantly, and they think that that can lead to meditation or to God. But that is not so. Mantras are taken only when you know what chakras are not okay inside, which mantra to take, which deity to invoke. And that is when, in a proper format, you can take some mantras. Once you're connected with the divine, only then picking up the phone and talking to them can work. Right? Without that connection, it's just picking up the phone without a connection and going on and on and on. You're actually hurting maybe yourself. Then some people think that concentrating on one point or light or something like that is meditation. That is not. That is a mental activity and can be done by anybody. Some people think that yogasanas are meditation, which is again not so. Patanjal, who was one of the, you can say, the forerunners, the ones who established so much about yoga in our great country of spirituality, he talked of Ashtanga yogas, 8 parts of yogas. 1/8 of it had one wee bit of it as asana. That was done to keep yourself physically all right in case you have to do the tapasya, you have to be physically all right. So that's how it was done, but it's not getting to God. through asana. It is even done in Sahaja Yoga. Once you know which chakra is not all right, then you may do some asanas for that chakra. But it's not like you do all of them and it's take all of those pills together at once. Then people sometimes think that some sort of breathing exercises can lead to God or something like that. There's so many now that listing them out is also difficult. But one point to understand is that meditation happens on its own. It happens by going into that state. So the great, we talk of a great heritage when all the things that come today also have to come on the back of that heritage. A tree has to grow, then flowers have to come, then fruits have to come, right? That's how it has to be. So that's how it has been done in our great country that one guru would give self-realization to one shishya. Once that person achieves it, then he can give it to others. And that's how it's been. And that is when you get into real meditation, when you're giving your given your self-realization. Before that, it's not possible. And that's how it's not possible to get into it without somebody giving it to you. So there was this tradition and it was restricted to one person. That's how it's been. It's been kept really quiet and very secretive in the past. Today, many people are talking about self-realization and chakras and nadis and kundalini awakening, etc. But it's something that was kept really secretive early on because most people didn't understand or were not looking for this at that time. So the question is that what is meditation? First, what you've established is that somebody gives you your self realization, and then you can really get into meditation. And it's a state that you're in, it's not something that you do. For example, I do not think that now I'll meditate. So it's not that now I'm meditating, it happens on its own because of something that happens inside. Our attention goes inside, and that is how we get into meditation. So let's see what it is. So the first state that you get is of thoughtless awareness. When you get your realization, you get nirvichar chetna. What does that mean? It means a state where you're not thinking, you don't have any thoughts, and you're completely aware. That is thoughtless awareness. In thoughtless awareness, you get into complete silence. That's how you get shanti, peace. It is said that here that meditation is the only way to grow because that peace is required. See, if you planted a seed in a mother earth where there's always an earthquake, a seed maybe will not sprout, or if it sprouts, it will not grow into a tree. So, for that growth, meditation is required. Now, what growth is required really? Why do we need to grow? And the answer to that is that we have been through an evolutionary process. In this evolutionary process, we have come up to this human stage from an amoeba stage, from a unicellular amoeba to fishes to reptiles to animals and fish, and there's so many things. And then finally, we became human beings. Many of these developments were physical, many of them were also mental and emotional. And we've learned so many things being human beings that are so much higher than animals. We can create so many things and have art forms and science and whatnot. Now, one might think that we are told that we are the epitome of God's creation, highest of highest, built by Him. Then why are we still under so much pain and pressure and sadness in this world and so much wrong still happening? All of that. The answer to that is that there's still one more leg of this journey left, one more step to be taken, one more jump to be had. That is our self realization. Once that happens, that is when we truly become how we are supposed to be. And that, when that happens, we grow in our awareness. This next leg of evolution does not give us any external bit of growth. It's all in our awareness. And that awareness, when it grows, we can become truly a collective people and a society that is so beautiful, something that is which is called as collectively conscious. And that is what one is trying to achieve through Sahaja. Now, these might sound like very deep and things that are just going above our head, but it will all become very clear to you and very apparent in no time when we get to meditation and we get this state ourselves. So we say that meditation is being in the present. When we are thoughtlessly aware, we are truly in the present. But does that mean, what does that mean? That all the time we either in the past or in the future. Sitting here right now, listening to this session, you might be thinking, oh, I should have said that to that guy. I should have taken my revenge back then. Or I should have done that in my life. Maybe that would have led to a better career for me. Or something, something, something. Or my fathers and their forefathers should have done. People go on and on. Same for the future. Tomorrow I'll go and do this. I'll do that. And then I'll achieve this. And I must do this. And thinking of the future. And we keep jumping from one thought to the other. We don't even realize this. It's like the sine wave that we have seen. Right? Keep jumping from one cusp to the other and all the time thinking, thinking. So what meditation does is create this pause, this vilam between these thoughts, and that is how we get this peace of mind. So what is so unique about Sahaj Yoga meditation? We have understood uh, spirituality and self-realization is important. That uh, what we need, truly we need to seek um, spirituality for our lives to be better. But why Sahaj Yoga? So, Sahaj Yoga is a term coined by Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi in 1970 when she started Sahaj Yoga. Shree Mataji spread the world all across the world. Now there are Sahaj Yogis all across the world, almost in every country that you may know. And there are centers all around, whichever city and smaller towns that you may be in, you can find a center around you. Again, we have given a link in the YouTube chat for that. You can refer to that. But the point is that uh, Sahaj Yoga, first of all, is completely free of cost. Shrimataji has made the first condition because it is the ultimate thing that we're talking about. Nobody can charge any money for it. So you'll find that these centers and these places are all very normal, maybe schools, etc. But you must, you know, look at the higher thing that you're trying to achieve there. Sahaj Yoga is nothing new actually. It is the same old traditional thing, or maybe the cultural, no, the spiritual heritage that we have um, in this great country of ours, where we have heard of so many sages, rishis, munis, peers, and poets and seers who have talked of spirituality, of God, of a future time where many people will get their realization. For example, in Nadi Granth, written by Bhrigu Muni, who is considered the father of astrology, he wrote that time will come, and the time translates into 1970 actually in our modern calendars. That this is the time when people living in their households will get their self realization. So many people have talked about it, and it is the same old thing, really. But as you said that earlier, it was the tradition to for one guru to give it to one shishya. That is how it has been. Now, Shrimataji, what she did was really find out the way for us to get it en masse. En masse, people can get it now. And again, this is something that has been promised in the past. It becomes very difficult to understand how. Shwataji says that now the blossom time has come, and now most of the flowers on the trees have to become fruits. And we can realize that if it doesn't happen, then truly the world is really, I don't know where it is going without that. So it's the need of the hour as well, and something that has been promised. Sahaj Yoga does not really need an answer for why it is unique because it is the only way you do get your self realization and you get it very easily. That is how the name Sahaj. And Sahaj also means spontaneous, something that happens on its own. Sprouting of the seed happens on its own. Our breathing happens on its own. Our digestion happens on its own. Birth of a child is spontaneous. Everything that is natural and living is spontaneous. This is also a living process. We're talking of a living God. And the yoga with that living God, the union with that living God, because the word yoga means the union. Any form of yoga you take, the union with the divine must happen. There's actually only one way for this union to happen, and we'll talk about how that happens. So, Sahaj Yoga is a spontaneous union with the divine. That is what it is. Sah means with, Ja means bond. Bond. It is that innate that it is born with you. It gives you the powers to become your own guru. You don't need any external person to certify that, yes, you're a realized soul. You know it for sure by your own self. You know your own chakras and your own problems for sure. You can see it for others as well. It is very truly verifiable and you can practice it in daily life. It is truly miraculous to understand how it works. But the best part is you practice it and you know it for yourself. So it is as obvious as something I feel on my nervous system. For example, I touch something, it's very cold. I know for sure that it's cold. Otherwise, many things become mental projections, Oh, it feels like this, it feels like that. So it's not how I feel. It is what I know for 100% sure. That is what should happen to us to really know something for certain. Otherwise, everything is relative in this world. For me, it can be something. For you, it can be something. So you get to an absolute knowledge in life. The divine's knowledge is absolute. It does not have many aspects to it or many sides to it. If it is yes, it is yes. It is no, it is no. How does that happen? We'll just see it. It may become more clear in the next slide. So again, this is something that you may have seen many times now. Um, but we'll briefly spend maybe 4 or 5 minutes here to understand about our inner self, and then we'll talk about how we feel for sure that we have the Kundalini awakened, etc. So, when we were in our mother's womb, the energy that created us, whatever name we may call it by, the power of God, that entered through our fontanel bone area here. No, in very small kids, very small children, if you see, it's a very soft spot here, and it even pulsates, leapt up like a heart at times. Because this is the place from where it entered when we were in our mother's womb. It refracted through our brain because our brain is a prism shaped entity. So it refracts into three parts. One coming from the right goes to the left. You see in the blue, that is called as Ida Nadi. This is the channel of our past, of our emotions, of the moon inside us. The one coming from the left goes to the right. This is the channel of all our physical, mental activity and our future and aggression inside. These two channels are created, and a lot of our personality gets decided by how these channels are. The one coming from this in the center creates so Ida, Pingla, left and right. The Sushumna Nadi is in the left. This is the path for us to get a realization, central path. And the energy coming on this way creates these flower-like things that we call as chakras. These chakras are created. So these three nadis and seven chakras are the important ones. There are many others, but these essentially govern our complete being, our physical being. So these chakras manifest as plexuses and they secrete the hormones and all of that. And they take care of the organs around their own particular areas. They have several mental and emotional aspects that they govern each of them, of even our relations and all of that. And they have spiritual aspects that they govern. So all of this creation is essentially done. What we are as a personality is essentially created by this power inside us. And that power comes down and it settles Almost at the end of her spine, there's a triangular bone. It is called as sacrum bone, means something that is sacred. So the Greeks named it sacrum, knowing that there's something sacred about this. Probably they figured out about Kundalini. So this energy, when it comes down, it settles in 3.5 coils. And when it settles, it makes coils. Coils in Sanskrit is kundal. And this is our mother power. She's a individual mother. She's been with us in all of our lives, and she knows every little thing about us. Her only aim and goal is to give us our self realization, which is often called a second birth. A word is called as Dvijaha, means twice born, because it comes as an egg first, fall in this world, then it breaks through and it sees the world for what it truly is. That is how a realized soul is also called as Dvijaha. First, we are human beings, we see the world as it is, but then we break through and a completely new dimension opens to us. So, the Kundalini mother inside us, that is her aim to give us our self realization again. She is called as the pure desire. We have been desiring for so many things in lives and we are unsatisfied with them. And that is how we are so much rattled and so much dissatisfied and so much stressed out in life because we have so many wrong desires. But she's called as the pure desire. When she is awakened, all our desires subside, and we truly feel the satisfaction and bliss of fulfilling that desire. Awakening of Kundalini, because when she comes and settles down, she goes into Supta Avastha, she sleeps. We see that children still have this soft spot because they are still connected to God. But this calcification happens with this ego and superego and conditionings coming in life, and we know that this is mine, this is mine, and eventually that connection gets lost as we grow. Awakening of this Kundalini and establishing that connection again is what is Sahaj Yoga, is what is yoga, the union with the divine, is self realization, Atma Sakshatkar, is connecting with the all pervading power of God, whatever name you give it by, but that is what it is. That is what is to be done in the name of spirituality, really. That is what we have to achieve. So, okay, understood. This is what is awakening of Kundalini, and this is what I have to achieve. But how will I know that my Kundalini is awakened? What happens when it awakens? So, once this awakens, it passes through these chakras, and whichever chakra may have some problem, it will work on that. And you will feel that when you have realization on that, on your fingertips. So, 5 fingers, the one in the center and one here. These are the 7 chakras inside us on left and right side. We feel them on our palms and on our feet as well. Because these chakras, their power comes to the physical aspects, the light comes to the physical aspects. And on the physical aspect, it's the crossing over of nadis, thousands of nadis on these chakras. And the endpoints of these nervous systems is at our fingertips. So we feel these particular chakras on our hands. So, for example, whichever chakra is not okay, you'll feel a little sensation, a little itching or burning on those fingers, which will tell you this chakra is not okay. So you know for yourself for sure what is my position. Today you might go to the doctors and they may tell you you have only a few months left to live, and you'll be aghast. How do I not know anything about myself? So you get to know much more about yourself and absolute things. There are many aspects, not just physical aspects, for one particular chakra to be got. Many aspects. Then, when it awakens, it passes through this chakra finally, the Sahasrar, the Brahmarandra, it's called as the Randra, means the hole to meet the Brahman, the divine. When it crosses this, the all pervading power of God, which we say is there, it is all pervading, which means it's everywhere. In every atom, in every molecule, it is there. So then, why don't we feel it? We start feeling it for the first time. This power, because it enters inside us through this hole and it flows through our body, through our chakras, it cleanses us and it nourishes us slowly and gradually. It puts us all right. That's how many diseases also get cured in Sahaja. Many of our problems slowly and gradually get cured and cleared up. But what happens is that we feel these vibrations, this chaitanya that is all around on our palms. We feel it as a cool breeze coming out of our palms and out of our head. What is cool breeze? This cool breeze is described many times, but again, as people didn't understand it, nobody really talked about it. For example, Adi Shankaracharya, the first Shankaracharya that came, really was called as somebody who established Hindu Dharma so well because he put the Char Dhams, etc. He wrote a book called Saundarya Lahari. Saundarya Lahari means beautiful vibrations. And he says that when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam Chetan, means cool, cool vibrations we feel. In Bible, it is said that when Holy Ghost will come, you'll feel the cool breeze. In Quran, it is said that when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. Now, how can hands speak and give witness? This is exactly how it will happen. So we feel the cool vibrations. It may be hot as well when it's just whatever is wrong is coming out. We should think of it that way, and it's a very good thing. And we also feel the itching on particular chakras that may not be all right. Slowly and gradually, you learn what is which chakra, then you learn how to cure those chakras. Then what you learn is how to give this to others as well and cure others as well. You can ask absolute questions on these vibrations. For example, should I do this or not? Is this man all right or not? Any absolute question, is there God or not? You'll feel the vibrations flowing in answer to these questions. So it becomes a great power in our hands to really know the absolute truth. But what we need to do is just meditate every day, morning and evening, and feel the vibrations flowing through and put ourselves all right. Initially, it takes maybe a couple of months or so to really establish and understand all of this. But once you have done it, and all of this knowledge is again freely, completely available to you. Once you establish, you become a master of it. You can really help so many people and help yourself. There's really too much to talk about in Sahaj Yoga, but what we'll do is just put a pause to that now. What we need to do is get into meditation and feel these vibrations on our own. Once you do feel that, you'll know for sure what we're talking about. We said that there's no effort to be done in Sahaj Yoga, but there are a few steps that we have to do to help ourselves before we get into meditation. So, what are those steps? First of all, if you are sitting cross-legged, it should be properly cross-legged, and put both your palms open like this and sit straight, not very straight, not slouching. And if you are sitting with your legs down on a chair or sofa, they should be put separately, both of them. We are made out of 5 elements, and we use them to cleanse ourselves, to put ourselves into balance. We'll use a couple of them now. You can just see these steps that are going to be coming on the slides. First with your eyes open, then we'll do them with our eyes closed now. So in the first step, we'll put the right hand on the Mother Earth. The right hand on the Mother Earth and left hand open in our lap as is shown here. The right hand on Mother Earth, left hand open in our lap. We'll do these steps later on with our eyes closed. Right now you can do with your eyes open. In the next step, we'll put the right hand in our lap and put the left hand bent from the elbow towards the sky. In the next step, we'll put both the hands on the Mother Earth. So these are the steps for balancing ourselves, our channels. Now the next steps will be done only with our right hand, and left hand will be kept open in our lap. So left hand open in our lap and right hand on our heart. We place it on our heart and press it so that we feel our heartbeat. Then we'll put it across our forehead like this when we have a headache and press from both sides and bend our head forward a little. Then, what we'll do is completely stretch our fingers and place the center of our palm at the top of our head, which is a soft bone when you're kids. It's called as fontanelle bone area. And press our palm on that area. While pressing it, bend our head forward. And while pressing it, we'll move it in a clockwise direction. The head bend forward. We'll move the palm while pressing in a clockwise direction so that our scalp moves along. Then later we'll see the vibrations on our top of our head, a few inches above the head, coming out of our head. So these are all the steps that we have. One might ask a question that is it truly possible to get something so miraculous and great just by moving our hands and doing some prayers? The answer is no. Once the great King Shivaji Maharaj asked his Guru Ramdas Swami, who was a great realized soul, how long does it take for one to get their self realization? The Guru answered by saying, Tat Shan means that very second. But you need someone who can give it and someone who can take it. We have to become the ones who can take it. Shree Mataji, Nirmala Devi, is here. She can give this great thing to us. Her photograph emanates those vibrations, those chaitanya that make this great happening possible inside us. For now, just have to keep this as a hypothesis and do not raise any questions, concerns, or doubts. Put all your thoughts aside because if we have to achieve something so great, we should not miss the chance because of some thoughts. So we'll tell our mind to be quiet for a while and look at Shmataji's photograph with utmost and complete respect. We'll open both our hands in our lap and keep our back straight. If you are sitting on a sofa or chair, you can keep both your legs apart. If there's anything tight on your body, you can loosen it. You don't need to keep your spectacles on and just sit with the mindset that you have to achieve something so great. We'll sit straight, not very straight, not slouching. Look at Shimataji's photograph with utmost respect and with the only thought in mind that I want my self-realization. We shall now slowly close our eyes and bring our attention inside. Just see what is happening inside right now. Now we'll do the steps that we had just seen. We'll place the right hand on the Mother Earth and keep the left hand open in our lap as it is. Right hand will place on the Mother Earth and left hand will be kept open in our lap as it is. Here we have to pray, Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my left channel through the Mother Earth. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my left channel through the Mother Earth. We'll bring our attention to both of our palms as well and just see what is happening there right now. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my left channel through the Mother Earth. Now bring the right hand back into our lap and left hand to be put towards the sky with our elbow bent. Right hand back into our lap and left hand towards the sky bent from the elbow. Here we have to pray, Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. We shall bring our attention to both of our palms as well and just see what is happening there. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. We'll now bring both of our hands and place them on the. Here we have to pray, Mother, whatever imbalances are still left in my left and right channels, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into complete balance, into the center, into the present. Mother, please take out whatever imbalances are still left in my left and right channel through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Now we'll bring both the hands back into our lap and keep them open like we are asking for something. Now the left hand has to be kept in our lap open as it is, and we'll do the next steps with the right hand. Left hand open in our lap and right hand to be put on our heart and press here. Right hand on the heart. Here is the place of the spirit inside us. Spirit is nothing but the reflection of God Almighty inside all of us. He's a witness to everything that we do and is the only eternal thing. Rest all this body, mind, these thoughts, this position, these relations, all of this is what we call as Nashvar, is momentary, is not eternal. So the truth is that we are the spirit. We say with full confidence that Mother, I am the pure spirit. And this is the truth. Not this body, this mind, these thoughts, etc. But we are the pure spirit. So we say it with full confidence that Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am nothing else but the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as I am the pure spirit, I am not guilty at all. I have done nothing wrong. We often feel guilty too much for nothing at all, and that ruins one of our chakras, which does not allow us to feel the vibrations. So it's really detrimental to Sahaj Yoga. Whatever wrong we think we may have done, God Almighty is the ocean of love and forgiveness. He can forgive everything. So we leave it to Him and His judgment and do not feel guilty about anything. We say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. We say it with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I have done no wrong. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we raise this right hand to our forehead and place it across while pressing from both sides on our forehead, like we would press when we would have a headache. And we'll bend our head forward a little. Right hand on forehead, pressing from both sides, bend head forward a little. Here we must forgive everyone, without thinking of them. Actually, we don't do anything when we don't forgive. We just play into the hands of people who have done wrong with us. But when we forgive, God takes over. So we have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. And truly, we have to forgive and let go. Without this, the Kundalini will not rise. So we have to say that, Mother, I forgive everyone. I forgive myself also. Oh God, if knowingly or unknowingly I have done any mistakes against you, please forgive me. Oh God, if knowingly or unknowingly I have made any mistakes against you, please forgive me. Now we can rest our right hand and bring it back into our lap for a while. Now we'll bring the right hand on the top of our head. We'll stretch our fingers backward completely and just place the center of our palm at the top of our head on the fontanel bone area, which was a soft bone when we were small kids, and press it here. While pressing it, we'll move the hand in a clockwise direction so that our scalp moves along. And we'll keep moving this till we have some prayers done. Also, we'll bend our head forward again. Just to repeat, we'll place the center of our palm, press it on our fontanel bone area, and move it so that the scalp moves along in a clockwise direction while our head is bent forward. Now, here we must ask for our self realization. Without us asking for it, Shree Mataji cannot give it to us. So we must pray and humbly ask, Mother, please give me my self realization. Mother, please grant me my self realization. Mother, may I please have my self realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my yoga, my union with the divine. Mother, may I please have my self realization. Mother, please give me my self realization. Now we can stop moving the hand and bring it back into the lap. We'll keep both our hands open in our lap and keep our attention where our hand was for a few seconds and sit in meditation now. We can raise both of our hands a little bit above from our lap, bring them to the heart level, and just bring your attention to the center of our palms. See if there's some cool vibrations coming out of your center of your palms at the very center. See if there's a cool breeze coming out. Can be a very subtle feeling in the beginning. So you must look at it very minutely. It could be hot also in one hand or the other hand. Now bring your attention to your fingers. At the tips of your fingers, you might be feeling in one or the other finger a little bit of itching or burning sensation or like ants crawling, something like that. These are the status of your chakras. Now, once again, we'll bring the right hand at the top of our head where we had pressed it and move the hand and just raise the hand a little bit above the fontanel bone area, a few inches just above the fontanel bone area, and move the hand back and forth. From a particular place, you'll feel the vibrations coming out and touching your palm. You can move the hand back and forth, left and right. From a particular place, you'll feel cool vibrations coming out and touching your palm. Now bring the right hand back into your lap and see the same thing from your left hand. The left hand palm, just a few inches above your fontanel bone area, move it back and forth, left and right. And see if you feel the cool vibrations coming out of your head and touching your palm. Now, in the last step, just put both your hands completely up towards the sky, elbows straight, and open your palms towards the sky. Push back your head a little bit and ask one of these three questions three times. Oh God, is this Param Chaitanya? Is this the divine power of love of God that does everything? Is this the divine energy, the cosmic energy? Ask any question three times. Bring both your hands back into your lap. In answer to those questions, the vibrations would have improved on your hands. And you can bring your attention at the top of your head on the fontanel bone area. And for a few seconds, once again, you'll sit in meditation. Now we can slowly open our eyes and look at Shrimataji's photograph. You'll realize that there are no thoughts right now, and there's complete peace. This is the first boon that we get when we get a realization of thoughtless awareness. Bring both our hands together in a namaskar and thank Sri Mataji and our Kundalini mother inside for this blissful experience. For those of you who have recently joined us, it's been only a few days, request you to continue attending these sessions for a while. It takes some time to really understand and establish this experience and knowledge, and you must give yourself some time to do that. In Sahaja Yoga, it is a very practical thing, and we must meditate at home daily in the morning and the evening to keep this intact. And you must practice it with almost everything in life. It is a very, very practical knowledge. We must also go for collective meditations as it really improves our condition and our awareness and everything in meditation. There are centers all around the world. The link for that is given in the YouTube chat, and one can go there and find out the centers nearby and attend those sessions, centers. Also, how to meditate at home, how to cleanse ourselves and protect ourselves. There are some things to do in Sage Yoga and learn. All of that you can learn by joining our WhatsApp group. A link for that has also been given. Also, many short videos are given in our YouTube channel for that. One can go and learn from that as well. Shrimataji has given thousands of lectures in Hindi, English, and Marathi languages, and all of this knowledge is given by her completely freely available on YouTube, Vimeo, and several other formats. All of this, again, you can go and learn through them. Most important bit is that you meditate yourself at home and establish this in your life. I would request you to give yourself that opportunity and also share it with others who may have, you think, the right approach and understanding that they can benefit from Sahaj Yoga. Please bring them to Sahaj Yoga and share this with them as well. As there are no questions today, we'll end this session here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shrimataji, for this beautiful session. Jai Shri Mataji.